Hey y'all, it's your girl Suzette with Crafting with Susie, coming to you today with What to Watch Wednesday. And today is going to be a good one. It is a Hulu special where it is a new series called The Con. This is going to be the first episode that I'm going to be going over today. But before I get started, if you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. If you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment below if you have any questions or any kind of inspirational thoughts you like to leave. And also share any kind of content that you would like to see from me in the future. I'd appreciate it. Also, coming up for the following Wednesday, I want to say it now before I forget, I will be doing a What to Watch Wednesday for Pihu. It's Pihu on Netflix. It's based on a true story. And yes, it's kind of sort of a foreign film. It's English and some of it is captioned. But it is really, really good. I've already watched it. But I think I'm going to kind of like refresh myself and look at it again. So Pihu on Netflix. The other thing is I'm going to have some unboxings because there's a couple events that I want to do coming up at the end of the month going into May. So I'm going to be doing some unboxings, but if there's anything you guys would like to see or hear from me, just please leave me a comment below and let me know. So to get started, y'all know how I am about trying to do this and talk at the same time. Some of y'all are real good at it, but me, I kind of like struggle because my thoughts get all over the place. But what I watched on Hulu was called The Con. It is several different episodes about people who have been conned and what happened to them. It's like a documentary type of thing. And this one I watched was about a surgeon named Paulo and a journalist named Bonita. And let me know if you guys have watched it too. Just leave a comment and let me know if you've watched it. Oh, real quick, y'all see I'm still working on Plant Rich. But we're getting there. We're getting there. But yes, I'm still working on Plant Rich. She's fine. Anywho. So, I'm on vacation this week. And I want to kind of catch up on some TV shows. And also spend time with the family. So this in particular show was interesting to me because it was kind of a documentary. You have the real people there talking about what happened. And in this first story with Paulo and Bonita, it was a hot mess, like literally a hot mess. So Bonita is a journalist and she is actually a very good journalist, very good at her job. She was going through a divorce. She stated it was pretty much a nasty divorce, but she was going through a divorce with her ex-husband, and she has one daughter. And when she was going through the divorce and the divorce was final, she ended up finding out that her husband had brain cancer. Well, she was introduced, which made things, of course, 10 times more difficult for her and her daughter. You know, even though he's your ex, you don't want your daughter's father to die, you know, especially with something like that. So what ended up happening was she met Paulo because she was supposed to be doing a story on him because he was well known in the medical industry in Europe for doing these organ transplants. And the organ transplant that he was doing was with the, Lord have mercy, esophagus. The trachea. The trachea. Y'all, bear with me. Bear with me. With the trachea. So what he would do, he created using the patient's stem cells and then other man-made products, basically a replacement trachea. And he was going to be doing one on a beautiful little girl from Asia. She was coming to the United States and she was going to have the surgery done. So Benita was going to be interviewing him. Now they kept calling this man the George Clooney of surgeons because, you know, he was a sexy older man. I ain't mad. You know, he wasn't some dumpy old man. He was not. He spoke 7 languages. He had the salt and pepper hair and beard. You know, he had the sexy accent. He was from Europe. He was a good looking guy. Had money. And when she met him, she said there was a spark, but she knew better because with being a journalist, it basically is taboo. It's in bad taste for you to even get yourself involved with the people that you're interviewing. Of course, you know how that is. You end up making a name for yourself that you're the one who basically sleeps around with the people that you're supposed to be interviewing. You know, you're doing your job. So I guess what ended up happening was with her going through the divorce, with her husband being diagnosed, her ex-husband being diagnosed with brain cancer, her and Paulo became friends. They would talk about it. They would discuss it. He made her feel better, you know, said the right things, did the right things. He made her feel better. And I get it, you know, she was feeling lonely. So what ended up happening was she said the one day he actually gave her a hug. And she said that she knew something was there between them when he hugged her. So they started dating. He would take her on these trips. I mean, they would be in Italy. She said they had gone to Russia, the Bahamas, Mexico, Puerto Rico, Greece. He's taking her all over. You got to remember, this woman is from New York. She's, you know, I'm not saying that she wasn't a well-traveled woman, but I'm sure not all like that, you know. And it wasn't like she didn't have her own, but it wasn't like that. So he basically was just treating her like a queen. Anything she wanted, anything she needed, he was making sure he was providing it to her, and she had it. Flowers, jewelry, money. Like one of her friends said, it was nothing for him to just pull out $10,000 and buy her something. She even talked about the food. She said how the food was crazy and that he just did basically everything he could before she could even ask for it. Well, eventually it got to the point in the relationship where I think it was Christmas time or the New Year. But he gave her a box. There was a ring. And he told her to open up the box. She does. It's this beautiful diamond ring, which was supposed to be in the value of $100,000. And he asked her then to marry him. And of course she said yes. Yes, 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 yes. She gets her daughter involved. He's taking both of them on these trips. He is building a relationship with her daughter, getting to know her daughter. Now in the film, her daughter could have been in the double digits, like 11 or so. Her face is blurred out. But you could hear him talking to her. because they took so many videos, so many pictures. Like there was no denying that they were in a relationship. And he convinced her daughter that he was going to take care of them and he was going to do all these different things. Well, the question came, whose job was going to take more precedence, hers or his? And so she decided to quit her job, child, quit her job. You know how we do. You know how we do. So she quit her job, pulled her child out of private school to move with him to Europe so they could get married. Now, this is the stickler. He was supposedly already married, but supposedly going through a divorce. Now, I will say, and Bonita did say she dropped the ball, because it's like, okay, did he finalize his divorce before you said yes or what? But yes, he was getting divorced. It was done. It was over with. You know, it's just a matter of putting the ink on the paper and it's done. But you know, she had said yes before then. And he told her he wanted to plan the whole wedding. She's like, no, you know, I should be planning a wedding. He said, no, I just want you to relax. I just want you to be stress-free. I will take care of everything. You don't have to worry anything about it. That he wanted them to get married in a Catholic church. And she's like, wait a minute. Now, I'm not Catholic, but I know full well they're not going to marry two divorcees in the Catholic church. And he said, oh no, I'll fix it. So he had her getting these custom made dresses. Like she had, you have to watch, she had like 3 to 5 different changes that she was supposed to make on the wedding day. It was 3 to 5. She had her own personal designer. They met up, they had meetings. She had the most beautiful outfits, dresses. And it was like he was taking care of everything, from the flowers to the reception to the design of the tables, everything. He was supposed to be taking care of everything. So one day he called her and told her that he was meeting with the Pope and that he was going to make sure that he was able to marry her in the Catholic Church, because he's a big time surgeon out there in Europe, and he got some pull. He not only had pull with the Pope, he had pull with Hillary and Bill Clinton, Barack and Michelle Obama, John Legend. I hate to say this, but the one blind Italian opera singer, like he was just dropping names left and right. Where he called her to tell her that the Pope said he would marry them. And of course, instinctively, she thought, no, like he's lying, like he's making this all up. That was her first thought. But against her better judgment, she believed him. And she was excited and just whimsical and just couldn't believe it. And oh my gosh, calling her friends, telling all of her friends that the Pope was going to be marrying them. Well, you know, I guess there is a certain time of year where the Pope would marry a bunch of married couples. It's not an individual thing. It's a bunch of different couples together that he would marry. So that's what it was supposed to be like. But she didn't care. She said that was fine because they were getting married by the Pope. They invited all these people, child. All these people. You should have seen the invitations. How the invitations were absolutely magnificent. I mean, everything was just 100%, everything. And the next thing you know, when she would try to make to see him or schedule time to come out to Europe to see him, he wasn't able to see her because he had to do a surgery, or he had a doctor's appointment, or he had to meet with someone. It was signs like that. That's when the flag started getting like raised a little bit. The light was a little bit coming on a little bit, like we got a problem. But she didn't know what it was. Exactly. And let me just say this in her defense. Love is blind. People, when they are in love, will believe that someone else can walk on water. And this man was just a hot mess. Not only did she end up getting an email from one of her friends / co-workers when she was working, as a journalist, saying that the Pope was going to be in Africa the day that they were supposed to get married. When she called him on it, he still kept lying, saying that that was some kind of political move and that he had to do it and that he would get things fixed. Well, she decided to go with her better judgment and she decided to call off the wedding. He was under a lot of stress because he was getting investigated by his job, by the company that was supporting his organ transplants for the trachea. They felt like he was misrepresenting the procedure and the equipment. Out of the 8 or 9 implants that he had placed, only 1 survivor. Everyone else died. Somehow infection set in, somehow, it was like a fungus or a fungi ended up growing. So I just say infection, where out of the 7 or 8 implants he did, only 1 person has actually survived. And there's been a lawsuit, and it's with the company that basically was supporting him through this whole process. Well, in the meantime, Benita is still trying to find out, like we do, what the devil is going on. Like, why would he put her through all of this? Why would he make her believe they were going to get married? Did he have plans on leaving her at the altar? Why did he involve her daughter? She quit her job. So her and her friends decided to go out to Europe and kind of like do a surprise visit on him. They saw him come out the door and down the steps of his house. And Benita stayed in the car, and her 2 friends, her homies, her girls, went up to him as he was going back into the house. They knocked on the door. He came to the door, and they basically said that they were there to give him a gift for the wedding that didn't happen, and they just wanted to say how sorry they were that it didn't happen, so on and so forth. And they said he never let them in, never offered them, like, do you want to come in? Do you want to have, a cup of tea or glass of water? They're coming from the United States. And you would think that he would want to sit down with them and talk. He wouldn't let them in the house. And the reason why he didn't is because he was in the house with another woman and her 2 children. And the woman he was with was not his wife. Child, the man hadn't even been divorced. There was no records of the divorce. It was just a mess. Like, he was a con artist. And it was the part that I could not understand. I'm thinking usually people are conning to get something. Like, what was he getting out of it? Like, why would you even ask her to marry you? Why would you take it that far? Why wouldn't you just be like, either you gonna be down or you not. If you not, then on to the next one. Like, let her decide what she wants to do. And instead of you letting her decide what she wants to do, you add on all this bull crap on top of bull crap. You know, I mean, that part to me did not make any sense. Now his name is all in the streets because everyone knows that this Paulo, I can't say his last name. Ooh, Macazini, I don't know, I can't say it. Anyway, so it's like your name is all in the street. Everyone sees that you're linked to this issue. She sent him this long text because women, we are emotional beings. And not that emotional means that you're always sad or you're always crying or that you're always depressed. When we're happy, we want to display our happiness. When we're sad, we want to display that we're sad, you know. And when we're angry, you know, hey, I'm going to let you know I'm pissed. So she sent him this long text basically explaining how she felt and asking him why he did what he did. And all he said back to her was, wow. That's all he said back to her. Just one word, 3 letters, wow. She said she hasn't heard another word from him since. Not since. He was not a part of the documentary. Only parts of the documentary was basically the information that we already knew, the fact that he was a surgeon, that he was a very intelligent man, and that their relationship. And like I said, she had God only knows how many videos and pictures to prove that this was an actual relationship. And it wasn't to get money out of her. I think it was just like trying to get her and keep her. But that didn't make sense. That woman wanted to get married. And that ring that he was boasting that cost, what did I say? $100,000 was like only, what did they say? $1,000? It was like $1,000. So I don't know. She should have went with her gut, but like I said, love is blind. She knew something wasn't right. And I do believe her when she said her biggest regret is that she involved her daughter. Because she did. She involved her daughter in with him, and he just misused and abused the situation for whatever reason that he thought he may have had. And he's doing it to other women. But see, I bet you those other women, especially the ones he has children with, they made a decision. They'd rather just go ahead and stay. She didn't want that. She wanted to have a real relationship. And thank goodness she found out about it before they were married, even though I don't think the marriage would have been, did y'all see that? Jeez, not all of them, just a little bit. Even though I don't think the marriage would have been legit, because like I said, he's not divorced from the first dang wife. First of all, what are you doing with all the women? I don't even know how you can keep them straight. Honey, my husband tell me in a second, I can only deal with one. Like, I ain't got time to be trying to have no 2 or 3. It's too much of a mess. Exactly. Can't even keep their name straight. But anyway, so if y'all haven't seen it, watch it. It's good. I liked it. They do have more episodes. Let me kind of fish around, look and see the other ones. But like I said, next week will be Pihu on Netflix. You may have to go to the search in Netflix and type it in, Pihu. And I'll have a couple of unboxing videos. So thank you guys for watching my What to Watch Wednesday. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Again, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'm all ears. I'm listening. Remember to always stay beautiful and stay blessed. Take care. Bye.